This is my nearly all original, well over 330,000 mile 1983 Toyota pickup with the carbureted 22R 4-cylinder. Today we're going to be deep cleaning the induction system, and we're also going to surface clean the carburetor and see if I need to pull that apart, rebuild it, clean it, or if it just needs cleaned off because it's pretty nasty. So I'm now going to do a preliminary cleaning and knock all the big gunk, chunk, crust off of this stuff with some cheap gunk engine cleaner. I went foamy, that way it can stick and work for a little bit, and then a soft nylon brush. By the way, if you guys want to keep up with some of the more basic stuff like this that I'm doing that may be important if you're doing stuff like this, or if you just want to give me some tips, then hop over on our new Facebook, which is going to be the behind the scenes on some of the more mundane stuff. By the way, that is currently getting a cam, DOD delete, header, true dual exhaust, and tune and spring, maybe lifters and valves. It's getting quoted right now for parts. This ultrasonic cleaner is going to save us a lot of time and a lot of headache trying to pull apart small, intricate parts that I may end up messing up gaskets and stuff that's hard or even impossible to source. So I'm just going to do it in here without deconstructing it because this can get in the nooks and crannies for me. This is the Vevor 30-liter ultrasonic cleaner. It's their basic one. Why did I buy this? Because it was on sale. There's several brands that seem to mix and match parts that are all likely from the same manufacturing plant. So it seems like the core of it is pretty much the same across all of the lower, cheaper brands. So I just picked what was on sale. Creworks seems like they're a pretty good bang for the buck as well. But this is a basic 30-liter. This is the largest one they sell. Really anything over this, you get into the commercial territory. And I mean, pricing just goes berserk. But this is plenty big for just about everything. I might even be able to fit my valve cover in here whenever I pull that apart. But the cleaner we're going to be using is a single Cascade basic dishwashing pod. Why? It's cheap, it's effective, it works, and all the old school guys recommend this or Pine Sol or Simple Green, especially the Pro HD, which I have, but I've used this before. It's stupid cheap and it does work. Also, this does have a heater in it. I've set it to 38. It's currently at 26, but I'm helping it out by putting about 3 or 4 kettles of boiling water in here to offset the tap water that I've filled this with as well. Because from what I understand, if you run these low or if you use the heaters excessively, that's a common failure point of these. So if I can alleviate that and stretch the life of this $280 unit right here, it's going to ultimately save me money on not buying parts that previously I would have had to buy if I pulled them apart wrong or didn't have this cleaner to just properly clean them. Everything that's small enough to be fully submerged is now submerged, and what is not small enough to get fully submerged is submerged more than 50% of the way. So once this cycle is done, like this filter cap, I can take this out, rinse it to knock all the loose stuff off that gets loosened up, flip it, put it back in here. That's not ideal. You want to have it fully submerged if possible because you don't want the gunk to resettle on the water surface line. But this is the best I can do, so this is what I'm doing. So while that is in the background cleaning, rather obnoxiously by the way, they don't seem that loud, but the frequency and the ongoing nature of it, if you're around that for more than a couple of minutes even, and then walk away, you'll notice that everything is muffled and your ears are ringing. So those can definitely cause hearing damage. So I'm a ways away from that, and now we're going to, while that's going, clean the engine bay with the same gunk foam and the same nylon soft brush here. Now look, it doesn't look brand new, but it does look a heck of a lot better. So now that all this is done, it's time to change the oil. One, because I can guarantee you some amount of moisture from washing it got into the valve cover. And two, if you remember from episode previous to this, this is essentially a short-term, about 100-mile flush oil to try and clean up the motor a little bit more. So let's drain it out, cut open the filter, and see what we got. So here we have a sample of the oil. As you can see, this bottle is not full. It's only full to about right here. But if I shake it, it is coated, it is black. It's not nearly as bad as it was in the first change. Link to that in the description. But it is bad. The good news is I'm not seeing any grittiness or texture or rainbow or anything out of the ordinary. It's just a dirty motor. It's consuming just a touch of oil and it needs cleaned. Here is the top of the oil filter. Nothing to see here. Everything checks out, as did the gasket. And then now let's check inside the filter. We got a little bit of sparkles. Woo. But really, for this age, nothing out of the ordinary. And if we look inside the pleats here, I'm not seeing anything besides dirty oil. I'm not seeing, like we did the first time, actual sludge. I'm just seeing dirty oil. So that's a really good sign. Beep, boop, boop, beep, bop, Toyota. So what's next for this ultra rare, one of only 3,500 ever produced Mojave Trim Toyota pickups that was going to go to the scrapyard, but we decided to save? Well, it pretty much needs one of everything. First up, we're gonna do the shocks, the gas shocks on all four corners and the steering stabilizer. As you can see, we did get new tires. These are the Kumo TA51As and a 215/70R14. So that's a little bit wider of a contact patch, but it's not too wide for the little bicycle tires there, the bicycle wheels that come on these little trucks. It's a good ratio for the truck, and it's also the same outer diameter as OEM, so the speedometer is still accurate. We are registered and plated, road legal, and insured. We also got to do paint. We got to do a full interior. We got to do seats. We got to run down some electronic gremlins. We got a lot to do on this truck, and it's all going to get done. I also just bought a 98 Jeep XJ with only 79,000 miles. That is a true survivor car that only needs a handful of things, and then that's going to get sold, because once this one's done, it's getting sold as well. I'm putting a cam in the Tahoe. We're putting a new suspension and splitter kit on the Firebird, and of course we also do new car reviews of enthusiast vehicles to see not only are they worth buying, but how do they stack up to buying something on the used market. So if you want to be in on all that, subscribe and leave me a comment down below on what you'd like to see. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great day. Now let's see if it starts. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, the wipers and sprayers are working. Let's go.